Hello. I have been sitting here thinking about what I actually want to talk about this week. And my mind is whirling, whirling, and whirling. And what I actually landed upon is I think one must give credit where credit is due. What do you think about that? Giving credit where credit is due. I think it's important because when one can continuously render someone speechless, what can you actually say about that? Yes, I'm speechless about being speechless. Have you ever been in a situation like that? Where you are continuously speechless and you are trying to figure out what the fuck has happened and where in the fuck are you from? Yes, where are you from? How is it possible for someone to render you speechless? And there's many different ways someone can render you speechless. But essentially, whatever the person, place, or thing is, it is blowing your damn mind. And not just once, not just twice, over and over and over again. Now, how is it possible for someone who has so many thoughts and so much to say to be rendered speechless? And you have to sit back and think, is it a coincidence? Is it an accident? No, it can't be, can it? For someone to render you speechless, that means a lot of thought has gone into what they choose to do, how they choose to do it, when they choose to do it, and why they choose to do it. So today is National Ego Stoking and Stroking Day. What do you think about that? Yes, I have declared today National Ego Stoking and Stroking Day because you must give credit where credit is due. When someone can have you dumbstruck, dumbfounded, in a state of awe, where you are replaying things over and over and over and over, and did I mention over and over again in your head? Because you can't believe what the fuck just happened and when is it going to happen again? Yeah, that's what you want to know. What in the hell just happened? Where in the hell did you get that shit from? And by the way, when is it going to happen again? When is it going to happen again? Because it's not right or fair to pull the rug up from underneath someone's feet, to thunderbolt, to strike, to jolt them, and then disappear. Now, would you say that's right? Is that fair? That doesn't seem right, and that doesn't seem fair. And yes, I know life is not fair, but you are. So what game are you playing? You set a person up to be in a state of rapture. You blow their motherfucking brains out of their head, metaphorically speaking, and then you disappear. Have any of you done that to people? You set them up and then you disappear because you want to become their drug, right? You want them to become addicted to you. And the best way to do that is to withhold, to make them wait. Why must one wait? What's the point of waiting? If you know what the fuck you want and you know where it's located, why not just take it? Why wait? Who does waiting benefit? I guess it benefits the person that's making you wait, right? Because there must be some type of enjoyment of what out of watching someone yearn, crave, wonder, and wander around trying to figure out when is the next time. When is the next time one's mind is going to be blown away? Because what I've noticed with people, each time is like a stepping stone. There's a destination. And only one person seems to know that destination. Isn't that funny? Everyone else is going along for the ride. Now, one is not complaining about the ride because when one delivers, it's knocked out of the park, out of the stratosphere continuously. So there's no complaints there. But it's the waiting. It's the waiting. Because waiting creates cravings. It creates yearnings. It creates very, very strong desires. Now, how can something get stronger when it's already at its utmost? That's a form of torture, if you were to ask me. Yeah, it's a form of torture. And you must get a lot of pleasure on watching one squirm, yearn, want, and have to sit there idle, waiting. Yeah, you think one can't figure that shit out, but one figures it out. One figures it out very, very quickly. You blow one's mind, and then you make them wonder and replay over and over and over and over again as far as what has happened, how it happened, why it has never happened before, when is it going to motherfucking happen again, and why does it feel so wonderful? Do you know what I'm talking about? Some of you do. Some of you don't. Who the fuck cares though? Those that can, great. Those who don't know but you can follow along, you should do so. But I want to give credit where credit is due. And like I said, it's time to stoke and stroke some egos. You see, for a period of time, you thought you lost your skill. It's been tucked away for so long. You didn't know that you still had that influence. You didn't know that you still had that power, did you? So there's some form of great pleasure watching your creation. Your creation being how one reacts to the overwhelming sensations as far as what's going on. One doesn't know if they're coming, going, went, or they're gone, because it's coming from so many directions, so many angles. It's like a guerrilla warfare. Instead of being attacked, you're being pleased. So from so many different angles. How in the hell is someone supposed to process that shit? That alone will take days for someone to even begin to grasp what the hell happened to them. And did I mention when the fuck is going to happen again? Yes, when is it going to happen again? Because you can't do shit like that. You can't drop a bomb and then disappear like motherfucking Casper the Ghost. Or is that a part of it also? It must be. Because like I said before, I don't believe there's any accidents at all. No accident at all. And there's no coincidences. So what are you getting out of realizing you have not lost your mastery? What are you getting out of realizing your profound effect on the right party or person? You see, sometimes with us, we get this great experience, but unfortunately, we encounter persons who cannot fully relish that shit. So you start to think maybe your game is off. Maybe you're not as good as you think you are, you were. And you start to question and doubt your skill, your capability, your mastery. Yeah, you start to doubt it. It starts to become a figment of your imagination. You start to question all those others that you intrigued and put into a state of awe. All because one or a few people have you wondering, are you as good as you thought you are? Are you as good as you thought you were? But you and I both know what the fuck that answer is, don't you? You do. Because as you sit back and marvel over your creation, over how one reacts, over how one sounds, all those different clues and cues that you get, you're starting to come to realize it wasn't me. I was just sharing my gifts with the wrong goddamn person. And that is why I said it's National Ego Stoking and Stroking Day. Because you got to give credit where credit's due. And why wouldn't you give credit where credit's due? You are sitting back, molding and sculpting things, and you think it's unbeknownst to all the people that are involved, but it's not. It is known that you're molding and sculpting. You have long put a lot of thought, effort, energy into what you want to create and what you want it to be and what you want it to look like. So you're slowly leading the sheep like a shepherd. And the funny thing is, I don't think there's an actual final destination. I truly believe that it is an endless journey for oneself to rediscover your mastery, and for the other person who may be uncharted territory, clueless, magically clueless. But funny thing is, I think that's how it's wanted. To lead and to teach at the same damn time. To watch one's reaction, to see the cultivation, to see the evolution, and to relish every bit of that shit along the way. So here, we're talking about making someone speechless. You have the person who's making the person speechless, and then you have the person who's being rendered speechless. What are their experiences like? Well, let's start with the person who's being rendered speechless. First of all, they didn't know that shit was going to happen. To be rendered speechless, you have to be really clueless about what is going to happen and be caught completely off guard. Yeah, you got to be caught completely off guard. Otherwise, you can't be rendered speechless. And the wonderful thing about being rendered speechless, hopefully it's done in the right way, you have a movie, a clip that you can play over and over again. And that's only meant to put your goddamn brain in a loop. Yeah, the person who's rendering you speechless, they want your brain in a loop, replaying things over and over again. You know why? Because when your brain is on motherfucking rewind, they are busy concocting another goddamn plan to knock you off your goddamn game. Yeah, it's all set up by design. Now, it's a fun game, and both parties get the benefit. But when you are being bombarded, and I'm saying bombarded in a very positive way, because that's essentially what it feels like. When you are around someone, like I said, who has mastered the skill of making you very pleased in so many different ways, and they can do all that shit at the same goddamn time, I would say it feels overwhelming. It feels like you're being flooded over, and it's all very good and positive, but it's your brain feels like the firecrackers are going off in that shit because you don't know which way it's coming. All you know, it's coming and it's not stopping, and you're enjoying every bit of it. Now, here's a wonderful thing, or maybe not so wonderful thing. You know you can't get that shit anyplace else. So this person that's rendering you speechless, they're actually setting you the fuck up. Yeah, they're setting you the fuck up because you know that you have not ever, never have I ever, have you heard that shit before? Never have you ever thought of, heard of, saw, experienced, witnessed, imagined any shit like this before in your life. Wasn't even possible. Didn't know it existed, couldn't fathom it. You are as clueless as a goddamn dodo bird. If you don't know what a dodo bird is, it's a fucking dumb bird. You're clueless, more clueless than the dodo bird. Just, I guess you could chalk it up as being inexperienced, whatever. And you are getting pop, 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 pop from all different sides at one time, and it's just pleasure. When you get such stimulation, and you know damn well that you have never had that before, and the likelihood of you getting that shit again, that makes one hooked. That makes one stay. That means you're not going any motherfucking place. Yeah, you will hold on to what the fuck is going on so goddamn tight because you know, OMG, I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know where it came from. But you aren't going any motherfucking place as long as I'm breathing and alive. Yeah, and you're lucky I don't kidnap your ass. Because if you keep fucking with me, you will be kidnapped. What do you think about that? That's what's going to end up happening. So when you are rendering someone speechless and you're blowing their motherfucking mind and then you disappear, what that means is that you may disappear yourself for a short period of time, reappear, get kidnapped again, disappear, reappear. That's what's going to happen. Because you cannot give someone such great, overwhelming sensations and think they're going to sit on their hands idly without hunting your motherfucking ass down. Yeah, that's how it works. Hunting down. Is that preferable? No. But if you keep your shit up, that's what's going to happen. So then you have this person, get back on track, who is just overwhelmed with pleasurable sensations coming from every different direction at the same goddamn time. That is stimulation at its best. And if you have never experienced that, you can't even begin to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But for those of you who do know what I'm talking about or had some level of it, you realize it sends chemicals through your brain on all different levels that just makes you feel like you're fucking Spider-Man and you can climb up the goddamn walls and be on the ceiling at the same time. It's nothing like you've ever experienced before. And you want to keep experiencing that as much as possible. And now you have the other person who is the pot stirrer, who's creating all this, who's masterminding all this and sitting the fuck back like a maestro or a puppet master, enjoying it all, enjoying their creation. They're basically patting themselves on the back as they watch this story that they've concocted, fantasized in their head, play out. And what's even more amazing is that what they originally thought, the magnitude of the reaction, they had it at one level. But the actual magnitude of the reaction is beyond their wildest goddamn dreams. So they're loving every bit of it. And they know, if I make weight, if I make one weight, that just builds it up each and every time. It is cold, it is calculated, it is goddamn strategic. And what these people also like to do is they like to make you think that, you know, if you can't wait because you struggle with waiting, maybe you should go. Maybe you should go away. Maybe you will get bored. Isn't that ironic? The person who is basically blowing your motherfucking mind intentionally is also asking you, maybe you'll want to leave. Sooner or later, maybe you'll get bored. Now, doesn't that sound like some sick, twisted shit going on here? Because you know everything that this person does to you, for you, is to make sure that you don't go any goddamn place. It's to make sure that you don't think about going any motherfucking place. It's to make sure that you don't even look some other motherfucking place. It's to make sure that you don't consider another place, person, or thing. They're setting you up so that you are theirs. And at the same time, they're saying, maybe you should go. Do you see the game being played here? That's called tension. That's called desire. It's called push-pull. And the person is pushing and pulling you in so many different directions. This is another form of great sensations coming from many different directions from you. You got the replaying of past shit in your head. You got the future excitement of some other shit happening. And you know each and every time there's something new that's being shown and unveiled that by the time you get your fucking footing from the last time, you're being knocked off your goddamn base the next time. And then you have this person saying, well, you have to wait for the next time. And maybe you'll get sick of waiting and you'll want to leave. So they're pushing and pulling and tugging and all these different directions on you. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It's all a ploy. It's all a game to ensnare you completely, fully. They are locking your ass down. They're locking you down. and they're acting like they're not. Because when you have the opportunity to blow someone's mind each and every time, to lead them, to teach them, to explore and experience them, nobody gives that motherfucking shit away, especially when you're compatible. You don't give that shit away. Why are you gonna give something away that you can make it custom for you, suitable just for you? So you make the person think that they can go. You make the person think that they may want to go. But you know, you fully know, they're not going any motherfucking place. You have invisible shackles on that motherfucking ass. You also have a bracelet tracking them. You have a tracking device and everything else on them because they're not going any place. And you get some fun pleasure out of that shit, knowing that, you know what, this person thinks they can go, but by the time I'm done with their ass, they won't know left, right, up, down, backwards, or forward. Yeah, your shit is figured out. You think one doesn't know? One knows. One knows. One can't get ahead of your ass, but one definitely knows when you have been thrown in a car, seatbelt put on, doors locked, and you are going along for the ride and you can't get the fuck out the car. You can't get out of the car, but you don't want to get out of the car. Why would you ever ask something that can be molded perfectly for you to go away? Why would you even consider making that an option for the other? Why? Are you testing one's authenticity? Are you testing to see the depths of your mastery of your skill? What's going on? Huh? What's going on? You know, and that other person knows what is actually being done. You know, and the other person knows they're not going any place. So who are you kidding? Who are you fooling? Who's in denial? Are you playing coy and innocent and think that what, you lost your game? You don't know what the fuck you're doing? Or you're trying to see how steadfast a person is, and if your claws are as deep as you think they are. What is it? Which one is it? No one who has the opportunity to go on uncharted territory or to mold a person, place, or thing for one's liking, no one lets that shit go. Especially when you've never had it before. All these years in your life, one has never had this opportunity. Have you? No. People made you think you did, but it wasn't true. Now, with all the wisdom and everything you have now, you now know what's real and what's not real, don't you? Yeah, you can sense that shit. It's instinctual. Can you let that go? You've tried. And in this part, I can call you an absolute failure. But at least you tried. Are you going to try again? No, you're probably not going to do that. That wouldn't be very smart now, would it? I don't think that's smart. You know that's not smart. Because when something's for you, and it's of the highest quality and caliber, you have to know that there's always many other motherfuckers lurking for that shit. Yeah, they're called scavengers. Scavengers who want what's yours. Yeah, what's yours? What is malleable just for you. So before you go around giving people the thought, the notion that maybe they want to move on, if you really wanted them to move on, you wouldn't be blowing their motherfucking mind. You wouldn't be putting so much time, energy, and effort on leading them down a path of exploration, happiness, and pleasure. You don't do that shit. Do you do that for everyone? No. And the funny thing is, you haven't had the opportunity to do this in a long, long time. So even you are rendered speechless. Yeah, you're rendered speechless also. Because you never thought in a million years that what you've been thinking about, what you've been fantasizing about, would actually become reality. Everything that you've thought of and been thinking about for months, You're now playing that shit out in real life. What do you think about that? You think one didn't know that? Yeah. Which is why I said very calculated, very strategic. And no, it sounds like a game, but it's not a game. It's meant to be. It is meant to be. Meant to be. Now, I and others don't know how some of y'all do what you do to render someone speechless over and over again. Maybe you have sat back and analyzed this person inside out, unbeknownst to them. Whatever it is you have done and how you've done it, I have to applaud you, because your analytical skills are greatly on point. They're on point. And the skill at which you show your spontaneity is also remarkable, because one can push another too far, too fast, and it could possibly backfire. But no, that's why I said mastery of skill, a master of what one is doing. It is perfectly being executed, like juice creation. Yes, like juice creation, you know. It is, the intelligence behind it is also mind-blowing, and it leaves one speechless. So, as we go down this path of being rendered speechless, you want to make sure that you're being rendered speechless on some really good shit, which means it leaves you feeling good and wanting more over and over and over and over again. And if someone's willing to have that effect on you, you better let that motherfucker know. Thank you first. Thank you very, very much. 2, keep it coming. And 3, when the fuck is it going to happen again? Yes, when is it going to happen again? Oh, you don't like pressure? Well, you know, if you don't like pressure, then you should not be as good as you are. So since you are, I am paying you in kind with compliments, because those compliments are basically my way of motivating you to give people seconds and thirds, fourths and fifths, all during the same goddamn weekly time frame. Why just once a week? More. You can't do shit like that and just fucking disappear. No. You can't do that. Can't do that. Cannot do that. It is not right. Okay? So we appreciate your lessons on patience. But when one has been famished, deprived, one has been famished and deprived, when you want to eat, guess what the fuck you want to do? You want to eat. So one wants to feast. One wants to learn. One wants to see. What else you got up your motherfucking sleeves? Because I know, after this long, and you know, something else is coming. Because something is always coming. Something new, something different. But the fact is, you like to keep people on their toes, which adds to the thrill of everything that's going on. So, if you thought we didn't know, I didn't know, I'm learning and I'm figuring out. And what one must know is, one, you must know when you don't know what the fuck you're doing, then you know what you got to do. You actually have to get in the fucking back seat and be grateful that you have the opportunity to get in the fucking back seat and let someone else drive. It's a privilege. It's actually it's a blessing. And while you're sitting in that back seat, you may be wondering, where in the fuck are you from? How did you learn this shit? And how in the fuck can you execute it so fucking perfectly? And did I mention, when is it going to happen again? When is it going to happen again? Because there has to be a way to piece all these different scenarios together. There has to be a theme. And maybe the theme is spontaneity. Maybe the theme is being very, very unpredictable. Maybe the theme is a slow unveiling. Maybe the theme is taking unmarked, uncharted territory and basically colonizing that shit like it's yours. I think it may be the latter. It may be all of the above. But it's okay. It's uncharted for a reason. It's unmarked for a reason. And that reason would be you. I don't think there's any mistakes in life. And things happen the way they're supposed to at the time that it's supposed to. So if you have had the opportunity to amass great skill, wisdom, experience, all to teach a motherfucker, then you know what? I am your first, your last, and your only motherfucking student. Yeah, I am all of the above, because what that means is that shit is for me, and all of you need to find someone who can teach you some shit. Yeah, let me tell you something really funny before I go. I've talked about this in my other episodes, and you may or may not agree with me, but when it comes to me, I like to learn. Learning is something I enjoy very, very much because I'm very cerebral. I'm a thinker. I heavily think. I probably think much more than I talk, but I like to think a lot. And I can't stand when a motherfucker tries to approach me. Yes, when I say a person tries to approach me because they're attracted to me and they're telling me some shit I already know. Or they're trying to show me some shit I've already seen. Don't come to me showing me some shit that I've already seen or trying to tell me some things I already know. I'm not basic. I'm not basic on any level. I'm beyond goddamn extraordinary. So to be in my face, to have my goddamn time, that means I see the endless possibilities as far as what I can be seen or what you can show me, what you can tell me, what you can teach me, what I can experience with you. I'm here for growth. I'm here for happiness. I'm here for pleasure. I'm here for fulfillment. So if my eye is on you, that means there is a vast amount of things that you know that I don't know, and I want access to that shit. Be it mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually. I'm here to grow, to blossom as a person. I'm here to learn about myself and find out some shit that I don't even know. And I have a feeling if you have put your eye on a person and pinpointed them, that means you see something in them that they probably don't even see in themselves. And that's what the fuck you're cultivating. You're trying to bring that person's difficult and demanding fully out. Yeah, trying to bring it fully out. Help that person see all that it is, all that it can be, and all that it will be with you. So, if you found someone who can render you speechless, you need to give credit where credit is due. You need to let that person know how much you appreciate them, how much you acknowledge their efforts, and you respect the time, care, and attention that they are putting towards blowing your motherfucking mind. And you want to reiterate to them over and over again, when is the next time? When is the next time? Did I mention when is the next time? You cannot drop a bomb on a person and think they're not going to be looking around for the next goddamn bomb. Yeah. And let's be clear. You and I both know what the fuck is up, and you already know what's going to happen next. So, don't delay too long. Because then people get grumpy. And we don't want grumpy people. No, we want happy people. Happy people, happy people, happy people. So, when I see you the next time, or you see all of us see one another next time in one fashion or another, you better have an answer about when is the next time. And I don't want to ask. Just tell me what it is so I know. Is it wrong? Who knows? Are you being pressured? Hell yes. And that is your fault. It's your fault. One would not be pressured if you didn't know what the fuck you were doing. So since you know what the fuck you're doing, and a person wants to know more about what the fuck you're doing, you have set yourself up in this situation, and now you have awoken a goddamn dragon, and the dragon wants to blow fire. Okay? Hotter than 98.6 degrees. I can tell you that now. Hotter than 98 points, higher and hotter than 98.6 degrees. So, when is the next time? Your answer better be now, not soon, right now. And every time you get asked that question, the answer is right now, right now, right now. When are you going to be asked that question? Every time I see your ass. You understand that? So if someone is blowing your mind, every time you see their ass, you want to know what's up, when it's up, and when we're going to do this shit. Can't be blowing people's minds and think they're going to say, oh, okay, whatever. No. People only say whatever on some dud, fucking basic, normal, everyday shit. If you're getting somebody who is going above and beyond and fucking twirling your ass around, no. We need to talk on when this shit's gonna happen, and the answer better be right now. Do you understand? So, if you have any questions, you let me know. But as I told you, today is National Stoking and Stroking Ego Day for those of you who have the skill, the mastery to blow a motherfucker's mind, who have the skill and the mastery to have that person replay shit in their head over and over and over again because they can't believe what in the hell just happened. How did you do that shit? Where the fuck did you learn it from? Oh my God, why it's never happened before? Oh hell, you are not getting out of my sight. When the hell are we gonna do it again? And what the fuck else you got to show me? Yes, that is what happens when you have desperation. Your ass is on the prowl for the next moment with that person because there is nothing close to it. There's nothing that's been like it. And more than likely, the probability of it, another being of your caliber, no, it's very slim, close to nil. So, think about what I said. Your answer better be now. And for those of you who have had the opportunity to get your mind blown continuously by someone, you really got to let that person know how much you appreciate them, how grateful and thankful you are, and you relish and enjoy it. And for those of you who don't have that shit, well, what can I say? Some people are more blessed than others. Some people are more blessed than others, and I don't have an answer for you on that shit. I don't have an answer for you on that. But if you ever do get it, hold on to it, treasure it, appreciate it, acknowledge it, and let it be known you are very, very happy, you are very, very pleased, and you are proud to be clueless and to be shepherd on this shit because you know you are in good hands. And what more can you ask for? So keep it coming, and I'll speak to you next time. Until the next time.